It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Sears Hometown Store, locally owned and operated right here in Mountain Home.
Good morning. Welcome to Down on the Corner. I'm Bob Rechtenwald, sitting in for Dale Hoffman.
Whoop, whoop.
Down on the Corner is brought to you each and every day by Sears Hometown Store.
There you go.
Sears is having a end of the summer Labor Day sale. It started on the 27th of August. It'll run to September the 12th. Up to 25% off on all power tools and lawn and garden equipment. There's some appliances, washers, dryers, refrigerators, stoves. Go see J.R. Hightower and let him hook you up with some appliances. You need a new lawn tractor, it's a good place to go. Weed eaters, rototillers. Well, they got some new earthquake rototillers over there, Scooter, that are pretty sharp.
Are they?
They have those flat free tires on them.
Yeah.
And they look pretty wicked. I
can tell you this, that one thing good about Sears, when they run their sales like Labor Day sales, they're sales.
Yeah.
You're not getting like 3 or 4% off. I mean, they knock the prices down.
Yeah, it says right here that the end of the summer Labor Day sale is up to 25% off on all power and lawn and garden tools. Some appliances over here in the front. Normal price $7.49, on sale $4.99 for refrigerator. There's a side-by-side refrigerator that's on sale for $14.99, normally $22.89. So go check out J.R. Hightower and the Hometown Sears store located at 1029 Highway 62 East, or give them a call at 425-3191 and try to talk to JR. If you have some service that needs to be done on your equipment, give them a call also. They do all their work here at home, and they don't no longer send things to Harrison or Springfield to get them fixed. So Sears Hometown, 425-3191, 1029 Highway 62 East, located in the same parking lot as Orscheln's. As you're going up toward Orscheln's, look to your right, there's Sears. Brewed Awakening Coffee.
See, you're getting the rhythm. You're getting it down.
Brewed Awakening Coffee, 3 locations to serve you. Highway 62 East out by Walmart, Highway 62 West at Bomber Boulevard, and BRMC Lobby. Go see the folks at Brewed Awakening for whatever flavor coffee you like.
His big thing is they're real coffee.
Real coffee.
They get the beans ground and then sent directly to them. It's like within 24 hours.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh.
Yeah, that is fresh coffee. Before too long, when things cool down outside, you're going to pop over the hill there at the old Holiday Inn, which is now River Rock, and you're going to have your windows down and you're going to smell. What are you going to smell? Pumpkin spice.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. And they offer it year-round, from what I was told, but it's going to be real popular coming up.
It gets really popular around October. It's just one of those things that come along with the season change. And pumpkin spice is your flavor. Go by and see Mike and company at Brewed Awakening Coffee. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas brings you the morning prayer. Roller Funeral Homes have 29 locations in the state of Arkansas, 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. They do what they do with all our respect. If you don't know where Roller is located here in Mountain Home, take a trip up Highway 5 North, go past Hospital Drive, start watching to your right, and what you're going to see is the largest American flag in the area. Rollers has always had that big, huge, beautiful American flag hanging there for people to see. They will treat you right. They will do what you need to have done. But like I told Dale a couple years ago, I had one of my customers come up to me and say, I watch that show every day, and Dale needs to talk about pre-planning. And I agree with her. Your kids didn't live your life. They don't know what you want to go out with or like. Go do it for them. Go by and see the folks at Roller Funeral Home. Let them sit down with you and pre-plan your funeral. And now, it's up to you.
Well, no, you got to do the morning prayer.
Oh, yeah. We skipped that one time, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Well, I'm not letting you skip it this time.
I guess we ought to do the morning prayer. And now we'll go to the morning prayer. Heavenly God, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for the rain that you've given us and the abundance that comes along with it. The gardens are still growing. We're able to pick some additional crops this year because the weather has not been as hot and we've had some extra rain. Lord, we've had a lot of rain down in the south area around Houston, Beaumont, and Lake Charles. Lord, with the hurricane that went through there, there's still some devastation that's being dealt with down there. We just pray that you'll put your hand on those people that are dealing with that. Some folks lost their homes. Luckily, there were very few lives lost down there in the area. Lord, we just pray that you'll bless them and be with them throughout all this trials that they're dealing with, the no electricity, the hard to get gasoline and things to repair their homes. Lord, back at home, we just pray that you'll be with everyone involved in schools. Control this coronavirus for us. Do away with this virus so we can get back to something a little bit normaler than what we have right now. Lord, we just pray for all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
There. Now we can go.
Now we can go
now,
on.
Brace yourself. Be ready.
Ready?
I guess.
Da, da, da. The weather.
Whew, the weather.
It's not as bad as yesterday. Yesterday it was wet.
Was it a little wet yesterday?
I think it was wet. It wasn't my fault.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Uh-oh. He's the man. He's looking for coffee. You don't have any.
Oh, there he is. He's just wandering around.
Did you make coffee this morning?
Yes, I did. There is coffee, and he knows where to go.
Weather's brought to you today and each and every day by the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. Give the Z-Team a call at 870-405-0793, and we'll take a look at the live webcam. A little bit froggy, been
Some
lifted.
of it's lifted, though. I mean, it was bad when I left the house this morning.
It was bad. The sheriff says it was bad from Cotter.
It's lifted a lot.
It's a good-looking
now.
shot. What you're looking at there is the downtown area of Cotter, Arkansas. The city park, Contractor Trust. There's a railroad museum down there I've never been to. I guess I need to go check that out.
I haven't been to it either. I've been to the Cotter Springs and the Cotter Park and the baseball fields, but
I've lived here since 1972. Have never swam in the Cotter Spring.
I can't say I jumped in it, but I was there. My kids love it.
A little chilly. And the weather looks like today. Temperatures around the area. Mountain Home 68, Harrison 65, Batesville 70, Salem 70, Calico Rock 68, Flippin, Marshall, West Plains, St. Louis, Missouri, all 70 degrees. Poplar Bluff, Missouri 71, Springfield, Missouri 67, and Watford City, North Dakota 48.
They can have it.
I kind of like that 48. That'd be all right.
I'm
the -7s
not ready
that I
for that
don't
yet.
like.
I'm not ready for it yet.
Yeah. So let's take a look and see what we got going on. Dale's right. It does take a little bit to.
You got to use the wheel to scroll in and out.
No, I understand that, but you got to wait for it to get there first. Doesn't look like we've. I guess I need to lower this down a little bit.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
I do too. We're all clear in the Twin Lakes area. We've got a little bit of rain coming up from down around Little Rock, but nothing that looks like it's going to hit our direction. We got enough rain the last couple of days to last us quite a while. So
looks like it's kind of fizzling out.
It does. By about 10 o'clock, it may be all gone, even throughout the whole state. So that looks pretty good for us. On the national weather scene, we have some warnings there, Scooter. Dense fog advisory for southern Missouri, southwest Missouri, southeast Kansas, northwest Oklahoma, and northwest Arkansas. Our fog will probably be lifted pretty quick. We'll check with the sheriff here in a minute and see how bad it really was coming in. What we've got here, there's the radar. As you can see, it's pretty heavy down south of Little Rock, down around Pine Bluff, El Dorado, coming out of Texarkana, but it looks like it's dissipating pretty easily. Our 7-day forecast. Patchy fog, then mostly sunny. High today, 88. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 68. Friday will be mostly sunny, high 82. Friday night, mostly clear, which is good because there's a lot of football games coming on in the area. Low 58 degrees. Saturday, high 84. Saturday night, clear, low 60. Sunday, high 87 and sunny. And Sunday night, clear and 64 degrees. I was looking at the advanced weather for next week. High will be like 84 degrees one day, and some days it'll only be 73. So
I'm okay with that.
it's looking a little different out there.
I'm okay with it.
If you take a look at iDrive Arkansas, if you plan on traveling today, check your computer and check the roads that you're going on. There's some little roads, side roads that have some things going on. What we've got around Heber Springs down Cleburne County, State Highway 337, 7.86 miles is they have some downed trees in that area, so you might want to watch for them if you're going down toward Heber. Other than that, there's a few spots, but like I say, if you want to check out the roads and wherever you're headed, go to iDrive Arkansas. MoDOT, that means because there's MoDOTs than there are in Arkansas. And in this area, it's still the Lick Creek Bridge that's going to be out of service until mid-September, possibly the end of September. So that's where we're at with that. Bull Shoals Lake, level 677.6, which is 18.6 feet above the pool of 659. Norfolk Lake level is 564.35, which is 12.35 feet above full pool of 552. And there we are with the lake levels. The Pollen Allergy report. Yesterday was a 10.5, which is high. Today's going to be a 10 straight. Top allergens are ragweed, centipods, and nettle. Get you every time.
Those nettles, they'll get you.
Yeah. Tomorrow looks like a 9.3, going to lighten up just a little bit. The coronavirus update for Arkansas. Active cases in Arkansas at this time are 5,010 with 841 deaths. Baxter County, active positive are 26, total positive 139, total recovered 113 with a total negatives of 2646. Crude oil is down a little bit. The WTI crude is down $1.10 to $40.41. The Louisiana Light is up 15 cents to $44.01. Dow Jones finished yesterday in a good positive. It was up 454.84 to the level of 29,100.50. I'm going to say that's
up.
Looking pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the weather and all its updates, brought to you each and every day by Bob and Linda Zadora at the Z-Team, Century 21. Give them a call at 870-405-0793.
I would like to encourage everybody to go to their website, retiredarkansas.com. It's got
retiredarkansas.net.
.net. Yep. Ooh, I messed that up. Retiredarkansas.net. They have got so much stuff, and they've got the MLS, which is all the listings in this area. Not just what they have, but they show every house out there, and they can help you get into it. And the biggest thing right now is
they need listings.
The MLS is, I don't know how to say it, it's lowest it's ever been. Last time it was in here, we were figuring probably about 235 homes that are on it, which is normally can be 1,000, 2,000 or more.
Right.
So if you're interested in selling your house, you need to give them a call and you need to pack your bags.
I would say start if you're really serious, start packing first.
There you go.
Stuff you don't need, go ahead and start packing it first and then give them a call because things are moving pretty quick.
And if you're worried about getting things that need to get done or whatever, give them a call. Let them take a look. They'll tell you the things that really need to get done and the things that you don't need to waste money on right now.
Yeah, because there's a big difference between things that need to be done and things you think need to be done.
Exactly.
And they're definitely not two the same. Scooter, you've got a PSA, and we'll go on from there.
Yeah, I do. I've got it's a fundraiser for the Bob Davis Veterans Center. It will actually be held at the Bob Davis Veterans Center, which is 421 East 9th Street right here in Mountain Home. It will be on, they got half of it written on one side, half on the other. So September 19th from 12 to 5, and you can get your tickets at So Unique or Baxter Insurance, and they've got Jeremy Rabe, which will be the MC, and he is one of the co-hosts at the Ozark Fox AM.
There we go.
So it'll be good. They'll have live auctions, silent auctions, raffle tickets, door prizes, food, you name it. It's a really good fundraiser, and it'll be really cool. They have a lot going on, so encourage everybody to get there.
Sounds good. Again, that's the weather and the PSA brought to you by the Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora. Check them out, retiredarkansas.net. We'll be back in just a moment. Sheriff John Montgomery from Baxter County Sheriff's Office is with us. We'll visit with John and be back in just a minute.
At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we have installed a convenient drive-through window for all your to-go and pickup orders. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and ask us about our daily specials for a low price to feed the whole family. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
Did you know when you shop at Sears Hometown Stores, you are supporting your local community? That's right. Your local Sears Hometown Store is locally owned and operated by one of your neighbors. Their store offers the best of what Sears has to offer with the top brands and appliances, tools, and lawn and garden. They also offer great financing options that work no matter what you need. Remember to stop by your local Sears Hometown Store today and support a local member of your community.
Hi, we're Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, and we'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z-Team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z-Team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiretoarkansas.net.
Driftwood Lanes. Fun happens here.
At MSI, they're not just another trash service. They're your friendly, family-owned and operated trash service, providing residential, commercial, and roll-off pickup. MSI offers competitive rates and services 5 counties in the north central Arkansas area. Various dumpster sizes available for commercial and accommodating you with weekly pickup for your convenience. Call Tammy or Kathy today at MSI. MSI Trash Service, small enough to know you and large enough to service you. Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with 2 experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionaire Barbershop today. When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
We're back this morning with Sheriff John Montgomery from Baxter County.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm great.
And loving every minute of it.
Loving every minute of it. Ooh, that'd be good lyrics to a song.
Yeah, there could be a good song for that.
Yeah.
One of them deja vu songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was stuck offshore in a hurricane in 1985. Couldn't go nowhere. It was just it came on too quickly. They couldn't evacuate us, so we were just going to ride in the storm out.
Ooh, that'd be another good lyrics.
Another good song. And the big popular song at the time was "Lovin' Every Minute of It" by Loverboy. And these idiots that run the drilling rig that we were on piped that song because the waves are like 40 feet, almost hitting the bottom of the rig. And they piped that song through everywhere on the rig over the loudspeaker. And we got to listen to that song over and over and over. Yeah, it was exciting. How's things for John?
We're doing great. I've already off the air been making several observations, and so I'm looking at another one, if you don't mind me sharing.
Go right ahead.
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to Deputy Jacob Zappa, Smiley as we call him, and here's your reminder right here. And I'm drinking coffee out of a Chicago police cup, which I'm just going to make an assumption come from the Zadoras.
Yes.
Is that a reasonable assumption?
I would say that's pretty reasonable.
But here's what I've just observed. So you think about this. When you do advertising, billboards, newspaper, radio, are you doing the advertising for yourself, or are you doing it for others for that? Logically, you're doing it for somebody else, right? You want them to see, listen. Yeah. So here's what I just observed in the last couple of minutes.
Okay.
I'm being fairly philosophical, I guess, this morning.
How much coffee have you had this morning?
This is actually my only cup number 2.
Okay, well, see, that could be an issue.
That's probably part of the problem, but go ahead.
So here is a Smiley cup, right?
Yep.
And the Smiley cup is supposed to make you smile.
All right.
So when I drink it, the vast majority of people are right-handed. So when I grab it, what do you see?
They're trying to get you to smile, see?
Okay, so here's my Chicago police cup. When I grab it, what do you see?
Organized crime.
But the Chicago police. And so I'll bet you if you go look at every one of those cups, I haven't, but I bet you if you go look, I saw a fad cup, in my opinion, they're putting the advertising on the wrong side.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry. I know that has nothing to do with law enforcement and sheriffing, but
it's great.
Great
knowledge.
But it really does. You see, it's the observation.
It's the little details that they're always watching for.
As you know, my son is a law enforcement officer, and we can be driving down the road, and he'll say, "Yep, those tags are expired." How can you see that at 30 miles an hour in front of Walmart?
Yeah,
you just do. You observe, and you see what's wrong with something, and you just make a point of noting it.
Well, and it's even this might surprise you. I don't have a scanner at my house. I do not listen to the traffic all the time.
No, because you have a cell phone or two.
I have cell phones if something, and they can let me know, and I can grab a portable radio quickly. But want to drive me crazy. But even in the office, of course, I do have a scanner, close by, and it's on. And of course, I'm hearing it all the time, and I can be sitting there having a conversation with you, and all of a sudden go and stop, because you're trained. You pick out those key words. Just like if you're sitting in a conversation in a room full of people, and all of a sudden you hear Bob. You pick out Bob. And so it's back to your son. Robert's sitting there doing the same thing. He's tuned to see and look for certain things. And law enforcement, that's part of it.
And it just gets your attention, like you say, so quickly, because your mind and your reflexes have been trained, subliminally mostly, that you just start paying attention to that. You're not being rude to the person you're talking to, but you know that something important has just happened somewhere, and you're going to be involved in it.
Right. Well, my wife Karen sometimes says I'm not a very good driver. If there's a lot of people around, because I'm looking at everything. Rather than just drive. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, I know that's bad, but it is. I'm looking at cars. I'm looking at colors. I'm looking at, all of these things. Who's driving? Do I recognize them? That type of stuff.
Am I looking for that guy or gal?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. How is things at the jail?
Population of the jail is going up. If I actually didn't look this morning, but I think it's like one.
I happen to have that up on my phone.
Oh, you have an
now.
app there, don't you?
I do, yes.
Yeah, click on the inmate roster. Free mobile app, by the way. Click on that inmate roster.
110.
110, okay.
What is our new capacity with the jail?
172.
Have we been there yet?
Oh, no. No, in fact, right after we opened is when the COVID hit. And I've had people say, well, you probably kicked when the virus hit, you kicked all these people out. And that's not true. We didn't. Now, I do know there are jails across the state that did do that. We chose not to. We took precautions, of course, just like everybody else. But what happened was, at that time, and if you remember back before we ever got the jail finished, our capacity was 100. And we were running average of 120 to 125. I mean,
Right.
that's just a daily average. And at times we'd hit 150. So the population had been down around the 120 mark or somewhere in there when the virus hit. And we slowly started dropping. But what happened, if you think about it, several things happened. Number one, the courts weren't in session. So the people that were in jail serving time locally, as their time ran out and got kicked out because they'd served their time, there was nobody to replace them.
Right.
Same thing with the prison. When the prison would call and say, we're ready, and we would take them, because we call it, backup. And so when they would call, well, we're taking them to prison, but there's no new ones to take their place. And so through a period of time, that just continued to drop. And so we were down, at times, we were down in the 60s. Okay, which actually was in a way, was a blessing, because that helped us to isolate
Do some separation.
Absolutely. And now the population is starting to grow. Courts are back in session. And I hate to say, but we got people starting to do more stupid stuff again, and so we're making more arrests. If you've been watching it all, and again, the free mobile app, but if you look at the press releases, and it's not just the whole law enforcement in this area,
Right. They're picking up. So I told you off the air that I may bring up some things that you've already talked about on the show, but we get new viewers every day. So when we come back from break, if you want to go to break,
Yep.
we come back from break, I'm going to hit you up on some things to maybe we can explain to the viewing public what those terms mean when they go to the free app and check things out, or go to your website. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in
Before you do it, just for a second, I was going to say the fog is really bad. So seriously, once I kind of got between Cotter and Gassville, it was thick fog all the way to Mountain Home. So just be careful.
And school is in session, even though some of the kids are staying home doing it. Be careful. There are school buses out there. So we'll talk about that in a little bit too. Be right back.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Hi, I'm Benny with Ammo Dump.
At Ammo Dump, they carry new and used firearms, large supply of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. Ammo Dump will buy, sell, or trade in your item and can special order whatever you like. They also have knives, scopes, ammo of any caliber, and provide gun cleaning and restoration. Call them today for the best competitive pricing around.
If I don't have it or can't get it because I don't make it, come and see us.
That's Ammo Dump, located next to Woodman's Package in Norfolk.
It takes the right gear to survive out here. Oh, there she is, Ferris. It's the best gear around. Strong as an ox. Safe as houses. Out back, there's one powerful beast. Awesome. Four-wheel suspension. Handles whatever Mother Nature throws at you. Designed to take the hard out of hard work and deliver all the power you could need. So if you want to tackle the great outdoors, get yourself a Ferris.
Get the only mower with suspension technology at Mower Warehouse in Mountain Home, where they accept mower trade-ins, have flexible financing options, and services all brands and models. That's Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
We're back with the Sheriff of Baxter County, John Montgomery. How long have you been in law enforcement?
9,200. No.
Not days.
Oh.
We're talking years.
Actually began my career March 1st, 1988.
1988. With the City of Mountain Home?
With the City of Mountain Home. In fact, my chief deputy, Captain Jeff Lewis, and I were sworn in the same day.
Same day.
And so we spent... I left the City of Mountain Home in January of 2003. Was elected in 2004 and became sheriff in 2005, and Captain Lewis came with me. So, except for that, 2 years that we weren't together, we've worked together ever since. And so I've been sheriff. I'm in my 8th term. We now have 4-year terms instead of 2. So I'm in year, I don't know what, 15, 16, something like that. Something like that. So yeah.
So you were. Let's see, 88 to 2003. That's 15 there, too,
15
right?
there, yeah. So 30, 31 years. Yeah. And I love it about 94% of the time.
And the other 6%?
Those are tough.
Some trying times at those 6%.
In fact, I made that social media post. I said, I still love my job 94% of the time. And someone pointed out and said, well, it used to be 95.
I'm a year older.
I said, well, it's been a little tough the last year. I mean, it's been difficult. So, yeah, I probably would say 94 instead of 95 right now. But
let's talk a little bit about the jail and the inmates that are there. The inmates that are at the jail, those are sent there from what jurisdiction?
Well,
mainly,
of course, it's here, Baxter County. Now, and we get this question sometimes, do we hold inmates for other counties? And the answer is no, with a small caveat. We do not hold prisoners, for the surrounding counties or anywhere else in the state, unless, let's just say, and we've had to reach out to a county. So let's just say back in the day when the jail was smaller and it was hard to isolate, there's times when you may have, due to circumstance, have arresting 2 or 3 people that you really don't need them in the same jail. So we may reach out to another county and say, hey, we need you to help hold this inmate for a particular thing. And the counties will do that for us. But without those exceptions, we don't. Now, if we stop you, for example, in a traffic stop, and we run you and it comes back that you're wanted out of Fulton County, okay, then, of course, you're going to be brought to our jail, and you'll be booked in our jail. And it'll say on the website, hold for other agencies. Okay, that could be anywhere. It could be Missouri, Illinois,
Sure.
wherever. But that hold for other agencies simply says we're holding you for somebody else. And then typically within a day or two, they'll come get you. And the same thing with us. I mean, if we got a warrant for your arrest and you get stopped in Mississippi, they'll contact us and say, hey, we got Bob stopped here. Do you want him? Well, yeah, we want him. Hold him. We'll come get him. And then we'll make arrangements to go pick him up. And we have a full-time transport deputy that works for the jail that we were able to add when we opened up the new jail that has been in... Bless his heart, and that is not a very pleasant job. I'm just telling you, it is not. But he runs all the time. I heard him coming to work. He checked in his car this morning before 7 o'clock, and he's making a trip somewhere. So it is tough.
Who bears the cost of housing the inmates?
The taxpayers. And so we get audited. The state does an audit every, I can't remember, 3 or 4 years, and they divide the 75 counties and all the jails up so that you're not doing it every year. So the last audit, I think, we may be due for one this next year, I think. And so, but I believe it was like $49 a day is what the cost is, and that cost probably will go up in this audit for 2 reasons. You got some static costs. You got so many, you got utilities and food and salaries, and that's divided out among the inmates and the days they stay there and all of that. And so since the population dropped and the new jail opened, so that cost per day,
cost average goes up.
The cost average will probably go up, and that's not really a true comparison because we're not running like we normally do.
Does the cost of that get added to their fines and fees?
No. They actually, it's called pay for stay, and there are a few counties that does that, and that sounds great. Let's make them pay for keeping them. Well, it's not quite that easy, because that actually is not, if you go to court, now I need to back up for a second. So if you go to court and let's say for breaking in someone's shed and stealing their lawnmower, okay, and you get arrested, and you go to court and you get convicted. What's going to happen is you and again, saying you got convicted for breaking and entering and theft. And so the court orders you to pay a fine, pay the court costs. There's certain mandatory fees, like they call it a DNA fee that goes to the crime lab to help pay for that. And then you may be ordered to pay restitution for that lawnmower back to the victim. So you come in, and typically you're not going to have all that money, and so you start making payments. That's a criminal offense, and if you don't do that, you can be held in contempt of court, and the judge can put you in jail. Or if you got probation, send you to prison. Or if you were in prison, send you back to prison. Pay for stay is a civil. So if you don't pay, one, I'm trying to get you to pay over here because I want that victim to get their money back. That to me is the most important. But now I've got a civil issue that if you don't pay, now I got to go have lawyers take you to civil court to try to collect that money. So it's just not quite as wonderful as it sounds. Okay. Now, having said that, again, we're fortunate here because the taxpayers here were gracious enough not only to pay to build that addition to the jail, but that $0.25 that was also passed funds the operation of that jail. I mean, it takes care of all of that. So yes, it is tax dollars, but we as the taxpayers bear the brunt. Now, and on that same caveat, a lot of people don't know this, but if you get booked in the jail, the moment you cross that threshold, your VA benefits, your Medicare, your Medicaid,
I was just going to mention
stops.
that. Yeah.
So we now pick that up. Now, there is a couple of exceptions to there, and we've got some legislation passed. So there are a few exceptions where they may pay, but generally speaking, no, that all stops.
Yeah, so not only are you housing them, feeding them, you're also making sure they stay healthy.
Yes, because we're actually required constitutionally to provide them the medical and take care of them just as like we would anybody else. Yeah.
Does the jail have what is it? Advanced nurse practitioner, a RN,
Yes.
What kind of medical staff do you have now at the jail?
We have a full-time nurse that works 40 hours a week. Someday we really need to pull a second one. I mean, it was showing the need, and then of course when the virus hit and the population dropped, it kind of got better. But I can already tell you we really need a second one that we're going to work towards. And then we have a nurse practitioner that basically that comes in on a regular basis and is on call and for those type things to oversee that program. You can hire outside. They actually have medical companies out there that will come in and take care of all your medical. But you're looking at, I think we were quoted $250,000.
Wow.
So for the moment, with our population, it is better for us to have the full-time staff
and
within.
On staff of the RN and the practitioner.
Right.
So the question I've got for you is, if you go to your website and check out the inmates, the ones that were released, on a couple of them it says time to serve Act 570 commitment. What is the 570?
Okay, I'm going to try my very best not to jump on a soapbox, Bob, because Act 570 of 2000 and whatever heck year it was, in my opinion, was the worst piece of legislation ever passed by the Arkansas legislature. Okay? So I get really bent out of shape when we talk about Act 570 because, in a nutshell, it took every single criminal offense and cut the penalty in half.
Wow.
It also came up with a chart that makes that you have to go through this chart when someone's convicted in order to even send somebody to prison. And if you go outside that chart, you've got to write, the prosecutor's got to write this big long explanation of why you went outside this chart. It also made it harder to send somebody back to prison once they get out. And the reason they passed Act 570 was because the prison was full. And they were trying to figure out a way. And again, this is my opinion. We don't need to stop sending people to prison. We need to stop the behavior in order that
gets them there in the first place.
It gets them there in the first place. Because when you stop holding people accountable, it's going to make matters worse. And it has become...
Take a look at it.
Yes, it has become much worse. So, back to, I'm sorry, I'm really trying hard not to get off on this, because I still think that Act 570 was absolutely the worst piece of legislation passed. And a quick caveat, so they came back 2-3 years ago, and prisons are full, overflowing, so they came back to try to do some more prison reform. And I read the first draft of the legislation, and all I did was put out an email to the legislatures and said, here's the 5 things that I have a problem with, and this is really Act 570 light. And I got called to the governor's office.
You had to explain your position, did you?
And he said he understood. I just wished I hadn't used Act 570 in my comments, because he knows that was not a good piece of legislation. That was a prior governor. But anyway, back to Act 570. What happens now, so someone is on probation and they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And the deal with probation is we're going to put you on probation and not send you to prison if you do follow these rules.
Sure.
And so they're not following the rules. And again, I'm going to be a little facetious here because I'm not a probation parole officer. So we're going to slap your hands about 10 times, and you're still not following the rules, but we don't want to send you to prison, even though you probably should be. So we're going to put you in my jail for, could be 3 days, could be a week, or could be, I can't remember, there's a limit. But and so we're going to put you in jail for me to house you because you're out here continuing to break the law. But we're not going to send you to prison. We're going to put you in my jail so that we can house you and feed you and
continue to be a problem on the county.
Yes.
Nice. 7:44 and 35 seconds. It's time to take a break. We'll come back in just a minute. We'll have some more fun with Sheriff John Montgomery.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we have installed a convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go and pickup orders. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and ask us about our daily specials for a low price to feed the whole family. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
We're back with Baxter County Sheriff John Montgomery. Sheriff, one more question about the inmate situation there at the county jail. What is a 309 inmate?
Okay, 309. Those are based on Act 309 of 1980. I don't remember, some long time ago. And so basically, they're an inmate, actually an inmate in the state prison system, but they have served. And again, I'm paraphrasing, half their time been model prisoners, and so they apply with the prison to become a trustee, if you will. And so what happens here is that 309 the state prison will send that inmate to us. We house them separate area in the jail. They can't be in the regular population. And in our case, not every county, they're dressed in a bright yellow shirt that says 309. And so they do the cooking, they do the cleaning, they do the laundry, they do maintenance and upkeep on most of the equipment. Now, obviously some high-tech stuff you're going to call in, but the general maintenance they take care of. So when I started, I say 100 years ago, 15 years ago, whenever it was, as sheriff, we had one. We now have 8. And so as a result of all of the work that they take care of, the county maintenance is actually, shop has actually been able through attrition to reduce their employees by 1, because we do our own oil changes. We do our own, minor stuff. From the cleaning crews and all that stuff that the county has, again, through attrition, because they don't clean our buildings anymore. We do our own. We figure it's probably at least 2 employees that they take care of. So they do a tremendous amount of work. Now, the rules are strict. Not only the state puts on them, but that we put on them. And so if they violate, we send them back. It's a privilege for them, because they do have some more freedom than they would have in the state prison system. But it's a great program, and we do get paid I think it's $15 a day to house them. Now, obviously less than what a normal inmate would cost, but
right.
But
what is the furlough about for a 309?
Well, the furlough, what happens there is the state, again, whether you agree or disagree, and that's a whole nother subject, the state, and under certain conditions, will allow a furlough for someone in the state prison system. We're not just talking about 309s, but anybody.
Anybody. Wow.
Anybody. Okay. And basically it's a weekend. Leave Friday, come back Sunday. So because there's an eligibility, in other words, again, in the state prison system, murderers, rapists aren't eligible. You have to serve a certain amount of your time, again, model prisoner, etc. So all of those requirements are the same as a 309. So they've already met those requirements. And so as a result, they can apply for, they have to be granted, and so they can apply to the state to have a furlough. And so every so often that inmate, or 309 inmate, will be furloughed for the weekend, and they have to come back.
And if you watch the website, the sheriff's webpage, you'll see that those inmates check in as prisoners in the intake, and then they will be released throughout because they've served their time. They're going home.
Correct.
And a lot of times you'll see 2 or 3 at a time that come in and go out. Like you say, it's out the back door and back in the front door, or vice versa. But it's a good program that it really helps the county jail system. With the new jail, after it's been built, are you still able to have a pretty good-sized garden that they take care of for you?
Well, the garden got reduced a little bit in size. And we had tried to buy the property next door, and it didn't work out, because our hope would have been to actually, if we could have done that,
increase the size of the garden.
We were going to actually move the helicopter hangar and increase probably, 7-8 times the size of the garden. That didn't work out. And so trying to make all that fit, we did lose a little bit of space on the garden, but we still grow produce. Certainly doesn't take care of all the food that we need, but it helps offset, and it also gives them well, the quick thing about the 309s, and we have had very good success here with our 309s, because we don't just, it's not just a here, go cook the food or go clean. We have our own woodworking shop, we have our own metal shop, we have our own welding equipment, we have own leather, we do all that. And so those skills, this inmate come in, got one 309 right now that's a great welder. Okay, well, you'll catch them when things are done. That 309 is showing another 309 some of those basic skills, woodworking, and all those things that are happening. So when they leave, our goal is, yes, they're doing a big help for us. But let's face it, if you can learn to do more things when you get out in the free society, you have a better chance of success.
Staying out.
Exactly.
Yeah. Picking up a skill while you're in jail, it's different.
Yeah. And I get said, well, why don't you do that with all the inmates? Well, it's
because I can tell you why. Because those 309s have a reason and a drive to be in the position they're in. And they want to get out, get back in the free society, and become something they weren't when they went in.
Exactly.
Half or better, probably 90% of the ones that are in the general population of the jail have no desire but to get out and go do whatever they did again.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And so, and it's kind of, and I'll tell you, there's relationships built. Now, one of the things that we have to be careful with, and it's happened not just with us, but across the state, they're still inmates. Those 309s are still inmates. Mm-hmm. They did not go to prison for going to church on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And so while there is some trust, you can't be fully trust of them. And so again, they screw up, mess up, we send them back. Mm-hmm. If they actually break the law, we'll charge them.
And it's happened.
It's happened.
I've known cases that's happened.
But at the same time, those skill levels that they're learning, and they're around officers, and so some of them will tell you, and this is not the first time it's happened, but we had a 309 stop by the office 3-4 weeks ago, and he'd made parole. Okay, so he's getting out. Came in my office, tears running down his face. and wanted to say thank you. There's a relationship built there that I think breeds success, or the chance of success when they get out. And so, and we've had, I can think of one in particular that just, I mean, again, you learn. He'll tell you. He said, I learned, maybe not a master at all these things, but I learned woodworking, and I learned leathercraft, and I learned how to weld, and I do all this stuff. And he's actually now, he got out, went to work for a company over in Northwest Arkansas, and he actually manages a plant in Batesville and stops by occasionally just to say hi. And, and he's been out probably 7-8 years now, you know. Those are the great success stories, and I wish they all, but we work hard to try to teach them.
Yeah, because not only are they doing the cooking and doing the cleaning and doing the gardening and maintaining stuff for the sheriff's office, but they're also learning a work ethic that they may not have had in their other world, and it's regimented. They have to be up by a time, they have to be in by a time, the lights out at a time. It's something that is, 90% of the kids today don't have that.
You're right.
Which is 50% or better the reason why your jail stays as full as it does. For one, we talked a little bit earlier, people aren't made to take responsibility for their actions anymore, and which it causes prison overflowing, local jails, county jails. That's the main problem behind all that. If the parents back in the day would say, little Johnny, don't do that, little Johnny probably wouldn't do that. But they don't care anymore, and they'd rather be their best buddy than they would be the disciplinarian. And until we get back to that, we're going to continue to have some issues.
I totally agree. It's accountability. There has to be accountability for your actions. There has to be. Let's talk about, little Johnny. Little Johnny does something and parents say no, and little Johnny does it again. Well, now the repercussions are a little more severe, and little Johnny does it a third time. Now the repercussions get even more severe, okay, with whatever method you want to discipline little Johnny. But it has to progressively get so that little Johnny goes, you know what? I'm finally getting it, that if I do this, this is what's going to happen. Same thing true to me, in my opinion, in society, is we've got to say, look, it's really no difference. And I'll even take it back a little step further. It's kind of like the lakes, and we've talked about this before. We're pretty aggressive. We want you to go out and have a great time. We want you to enjoy our lakes and rivers and to have a wonderful time. But we also don't want to be hurt, which is why there's repercussions if you get caught operating in a boat and intoxicated. There are repercussions to that. So here's the line, just don't cross it. So out here in society, they need to know that if they cross that line and they break into, someone's house or shed, there's going to be repercussions that comes down that. The judge tells them to do something, you need to do it, because if you don't, there's going to be repercussions. You don't do it again, there needs to be serious repercussions. I mean, and on that same note, is that released, by the way?
Yeah, that's the release.
Okay, just real quickly, right there, you got previous bookings. Just start at the left and just kind of read across.
Where you want to go? Up here?
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Previous bookings. First one.
I'm on 0.
0.
Okay. Next one. 1.
Next
1, 2, 1, 24.
Ooh.
Taylor George. 24. 2, 26, 15, 16, 0, 14, 0.
Okay. So here's my question. So if a person goes to prison,
got about 30 seconds.
Okay, and for 5 years, and they get out. If you look and they've been to prison 5, 6, 7, 8 times, do you think they're going to change their behavior?
No.
Probably not. Look at these bookings. Some of those 1s and 2s, some of those 15, 16, do you think they're going to change their behavior?
No.
No.
Absolutely not.
So as society, we've got to protect society. That's the repeat offender that I talk about on a regular basis.
Absolutely. Scooter?
Wrap it up.
We're John, we appreciate your time.
You bet.
See you tomorrow. Have a great day.